Welcome to Twin Flames with Josephine Celeste. I'm a psychic, soul doctor, and shamanic healings specializing for twin flames. Today, we're going to go through the concept of the inner child for twin flames, as somebody has requested that I do a segment on it because they're not sure how it works for us as twin flames. As I often say, us twin flames are different. What works conventionally or what is conventional is not necessarily how it works for us. So I'm going to be talking or going into how this can create blocks in your journey. The inner child also is the essence of you. It's really important to know that that's such a fundamental part of who you are, and that reflects in your relationships, in all relationships, not just intimate ones. And it also affects your creativity. So if you're someone with artistic abilities or creative, the more that your inner child is happy, that's going to change things. So your inner child is also greatly affecting your soul and your gifts, even your health and union, and how you feel about yourself and how you feel about other aspects in life, your career, where you want to go, what you want to do, who you want to be. Some inner childs are very rebellious when they've been hurt. Others suppress. And also when there's traumas involved or issues, the shadow self, there becomes a shadow self. That's what creates it. Also, the inner child is really, really important because this part of you filters into every aspect of who you are, from including spirituality. When I was evolving, or as I'm evolving, there was a time where I knew I was so evolved spiritually. This is only a few years ago, maybe 5 years, but I thought, what is this? What's going on? And I realised that my inner child was blocking my ability in being able to do my work to what I knew I could do. So then, of course, I did a lot of work on my inner child and still work on myself anyway. So with the inner child, us as twin flames, when we're having a childhood, it's really important, the people we meet, the environments, particularly that we're living in, and whatever happens in our childhood sets up the blueprint of our life, of this life, yeah, as in past lives as well. So as children, ideally, we need to have love from both our parents. I look at it like we should be wrapped up in cotton wool, really, because of our highly sensitive and empathic nature. But that's who we are. Our essence is love, particularly as a child. And so that's what we look up at to our parents as gods, because they're taking care of you physically, food, shelter, all that stuff. And we just, I guess it's just innate that you want love, to be loved back by those people who are taking care of you. So when there's a inner child, your inner child, sorry, or my inner child, which I'll tell you a bit about my story. What happens is that when there's things, and even things that we interpret, that we misinterpret, yeah, this sets us up in life not to be able to achieve and be at our best ability, yeah. So the thing is that we then settle down for second best, and doesn't allow us to be who we are, authentic, which then mirrors into not living an authentic life, yeah. The inner child also loves to have fun. I'm a Leo, so I still enjoy that part of it, but also it gives birth to your imagination, the inner child. It's where it comes from, the inspiration, and your creator, but it comes through the inner child, yeah. And the nature of the inner child is very innocent and is very much connected to your soul, your psyche, and your gifts. Also, if you have children, I would strongly recommend that you allow them, I mean, I'm not saying to let them run riot, but to give them permission to be their unique selves. Don't suppress them, especially with the conditioning and all that stuff. Allow them just to be who they are, creatively I'm speaking, yeah, and playfully. And, you know, you can do the same for yourself. So I'll give you an intention that can help you with your inner child. Often, though, with us that have had traumas, we have parts of our inner child missing, and frequencies, of course. So they need to be retrieved back, and, you know, you feel very different then. You feel more yourself. So, so that's another aspect of it, because there are different aspects of the inner child. So here, I'm going to give you an intention on how you can start to help your inner child. You can begin. So you say, or you can write this down, I now give thanks to my inner child that he or she has permission to be their unique self. Yeah? And you do that in the morning and at night, and you can leave it next to your bed or wherever you don't pass, you know, you move a lot through. The other thing is too, that I just want to say that in the last 25 years approximately, the children being born are twin flames. They're different. They're starseed. There's all sorts coming through. Some that haven't even been here before. They're really pure. But the thing is, it's really important to be aware of this, you know. And I'll do a segment on the children anyway, because I think it's very, very important you know about them. But at the moment, the inner child, allowing them to be, you know, who they are, and allowing their uniqueness because that's a gift coming into themselves. Now, just a little bit about my story, because I mean, if I had to talk about my childhood, I'd be here for 10 years, I can tell you. But my childhood was not only dysfunctional, it was severely traumatic, though I didn't even know it at the time. You know, back in the 60s and 70s, I thought it was normal. Normal, sure. Anyway, so it taught me a lot, though. So the thing is, it was traumatic on all levels, emotionally, mentally, physically. I didn't go crazy or anything, but, you know, it certainly had an impact, and sexually as well. My mother, she was very, very, very dark, she is, and manipulative, and she's also highly narcissistical. She had mental illness, still has. My father, he was very violent. They were both uneducated, and they are both victims of World War II. So I've come to accept now, you know, where they are. I don't have anything to do with them because we're just too different, or I'm different, apparently. So, you know, it's just better for me not to be in that environment. So in my childhood, my default place was my spiritual world, which I had endless visions, and that just happened because I was so traumatized that the Akashic records kept blowing up open, but I didn't know what it was. I thought everybody had this, you know, because it felt really natural. And then the thing that I want to tell you, though, I mean, there's so many things that happened in my life and in my childhood, and like many of us healers, that we go through quite a lot ourselves, and that's why we have the compassion and the wanting to help others. So, because what I want to say, though, is the point out is because my childhood was so traumatic, that set up my blueprint for 50 years of trauma. See, and I had no idea what was going on at the time. Hindsight's a good thing. I do now, but I didn't know back then. But I don't have that anymore. I've done heaps of healing work on myself, and I don't have any trauma, thank God. So I'm just still work on myself, because there's a couple of aspects of my life that I still want to achieve, and you know, I know there's still some other things that I need to do while I'm here on earth. So I hope that this has shed some light on your inner child and giving you some tools and something to start working with. And my wish is that this information is to empower you. Yeah, this is all about you getting empowered, not relying on me. If this is about you and doing whatever it is that you're here for. The channeled information, or I'm guided by my spiritual team, which they're all masters. They're all, the spiritual masters. Any questions or any issues, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I do one-on-one sessions in person or in Skype or on Skype, sorry. I do twin flame readings and shamanic healings as well. I do Akashic record healing, past life, soul retrieval, raising your frequency, loving yourself, of course, healing all sorts of traumas, and twin flame union, working towards that. All the work that we do, it gets to the core of the issues, and we work from that. Yeah, it's the quickest way. And also the blocks are transformed and healed through the retrieval of yourself to become the greatest version of yourself. So with the Patreon, there's Patreon there if you'd like to donate. Thank you for those who've donated. And if you want to contact me, my email's in the description. If you would like a novel, my novel, it's on Amazon, or you can contact me directly and I can autograph it for you and send it out. And please subscribe, because we'll be doing these YouTubes as an ongoing thing now, and keep you updated and informed, most importantly. And thank you so much, and I give you all my love from my heart, because this work means the world to me. All right, and so do you. Okay, much love, Josephine.